well dominant group as well. We're going to talking about building crypto portfolio that pays with special reference to Launchpads. Now, we in one of our groups this morning, we started off with Launchpads discussions and everything. We actually wanted to discuss something entirely different before today, but based on popular demand, a couple of friends have reached out that we should just treat this topic so that everybody will get to know, because that is what it's actually the in thing right now in the crypto space. Okay, so we'll be talking about launch pads, different types of launch pads. What are launch pads? How is Launchpad beneficial to us? Right now, why should we engage in Launchpad? Is it possible I engage only me, or can we co-own tonight? And then I'm sure by the end of this session tonight, it will be. I want to strongly believe it's going to worth the while. So without wasting much of our time, I'll ask Prince Patrick to take the floor, as he's going to be anchoring the discussion as per Launchpads for us tonight. We are in, feel okay, yes, let's even discuss it, at all with the community. Okay. Why we've not discussed it before now, I'm sure Prince is going to mention that and all that. So, Prince Patrick, are you ready?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay,
all right, let's
you
get
can
to
hear
it.
me very clearly.
Yes, we can hear
All
you.
right. It's a pleasure having you all on the call yet again tonight. I do believe it's gonna be worth your time. Okay. Uh, it's been a while. Going straight to the point, I do believe we shouldn't be on this call for more than 30, 35 minutes. Okay, of course, you know that this is Roycraft Crypto Academy, and Roycraft is a registered company, domiciled in Nigeria. And over the years, we've been able to raise multi-millionaires, in our community. And if you're joining this call for the very first time, then you should count yourself lucky, getting to know about the one of the most sane crypto community, in Africa, because we are setting a standard while others, are following. Uh, in our community, we give out information first that after some weeks, after we must have given out some kind of information in the group, then we get to see them flying around in some other so-called crypto groups. It is also worthy to note that we understand this market and we've been able to navigate this market and guide, our members, the right way. A couple of months ago, some of you, if not all of you here, knew the dive that happened in the cryptocurrency space. And in quote, so many crypto experts are self-acclaimed, actually called it an end of the bull run because of Bitcoin actually saw a decline, from as high as $65,000 to as low as $28,800. Well, for members of the Roycraft community, it was no news because we forecasted that this was going to happen in order for Bitcoin to have a healthy run up. And I think it was just barely about 2 weeks after that forecast that the market had to do what we actually predicted. And despite the bloody nature of that fall, we still told every member of our community to hold on tight to their portfolios because everything is still going to bounce back as normal. And as we speak, we still have Bitcoin in the 60,000 range. Imagine the recovery and what the future holds if you are having the right information. Well, for the purpose of this call tonight, okay, we are actually discussing about a crucial subject, which is very, very key when it comes to crypto. It's not all about knowing about crypto or having knowledge in it. It is about having crypto paying your bills. And this is the reason for the theme of tonight, building a crypto portfolio that pays. Okay, a lot of people make noise about cryptocurrencies. Some of them actually know cryptocurrency theoretically, but physically, in terms of their life, in terms of what they have happening around them, there are no physical evidences to show that crypto actually pays. Okay, there are so many ways to have crypto paying your bills and helping you, achieve your dreams. And because of this, there is a cheat code to life-changing wealth other than the usuals that we've always engaged in, which have actually seen some transformational wealth generation in the community. Okay, we wouldn't want to start laying claims or mentioning names of crypto projects that we called and have done over 100x to 200x in the community within the last 1 to 2 years. Okay, moving forward, like I said, the cheat code to cryptocurrency wealth generation is simply known as Launchpad. Okay, Launchpad, it is a cheat code. Okay, Launchpad is regarded as a cryptocurrency cheat code to making the highest gains in cryptocurrency while getting involved in it from the very beginning. Now, what is a crypto launchpad? I made this presentation very, very concise, so it's going to be easy and straight to point. Certain crypto platforms helps investors discover early stage crypto projects before they are known globally, before they go mainstream. These crypto platforms that enables you to discover some certain projects before they go mainstream can be regarded as launchpad. And of course, if you know about a project before it is known to the public, you actually got involved before it is known to the public, it simply means that you have a masterpiece. It means you have a cheat code that others out there never had. Okay, and this places you at an advantage because you are set to make even much more gains than those who would be getting involved to buy and hold as usual. Okay, it may surprise you to understand that while a lot of persons are buying some cryptocurrencies for the purpose of making 5 times their investment, 10x, 20x, some other persons have already made over 400 times, 200 times, 300 times of their before this project is even made known to you. What I mean is before this project comes on CoinMarketCap, before it comes on CoinGecko, Nomics, and other aggregators, there are some certain kinds of people who already knows about these projects. And this means they have a cheat code. Now, every project has a cheat code. Every project has a hidden community before the public community. Identifying some certain kind of projects is where the difficulty lies in. And that is why you discover that the project that just appeared on CoinMarketCap today, when you look at the aggregates in terms of the return on investment that it has done, you might be seeing some, incredible figures like 2 million%, 1 million%, 500,000%. And you'll be wondering something that was listed 1 hour ago or 2 hours ago. And when you look at the chart, you might not really see the price movement or the price action correlating with the claim of the percentage in terms of the return on investment of that particular crypto asset. But the thing is, it was not a fake figure. It is not manipulated. It is real. It simply means that those who had the cheat code of that cryptocurrency are those who are actually benefiting in that real figure that you were saying. And you buying into that opportunity at that time, you become exposed because your assets at that time are already, would I say, at the maximum gain for early investors. And at that point, when you get in, you discover that most times this coin or asset declines in price. Why? Because the market is already market, and you are just jumping in to see if it's going to do probably another 1,000,000% from what it has already done. And this is why we do not advise anybody to actually jump in on a newly listed project. Whenever a project is listed, there is one thing that is for sure: it must pump immediately and it will dump the next few minutes. Yes, for solid projects, after the dump, natural price discovery mode, whereby it is going to be driven by high demand and very little supply. And this is why most of the tokens that are launching are having deflationary mechanisms to ensure that the supply, is reducing while the demand is increasing. Okay, and now if we are to go for this cheat code, there are so many launch pads. Okay, but there are launch pads of launch pads. Okay, there are launch pads that are better than some other launch pads. Okay, but let's just do this briefly. The most common kind of launchpad that many people are aware of is the IEO launchpad. That is the initial exchange offering. Okay, and this, as the name goes, initial exchange, it is when an exchange is in charge or have custody of a token that is about to be listed, in the market. And they regulate on the distribution on how the members that are actually trading on that exchange will be able to have a share of that token. And the most common is the KU Coin Launchpad and the Binance Launchpad. The KU Coin Launchpad is known as what's it called? Is it the Striker something, on the platform? And then the Binance Launchpad is known as the Binance Launchpad. Yes. For the Binance Launchpad and the KU Coin, they mandate you to hold a certain amount of the native token of that exchange. Let's say, for example, you want to purchase a particular cryptocurrency that is set to launch on Binance, maybe in the next 4 days. Binance says they are having an incubation period. What is the incubation period? It means a preparatory period that will enable their token holders, to be able to stake it or have them in their wallets, on the exchange. And there is what we call a timestamp and a snapshot that's going to be taken at a particular time, for people that are holding their native tokens. And the more tokens you're holding determines the amount of tokens that is about to be sold. It determines your share. And this is why you have people who actually own small BNB tokens. Whenever there is an IEO or a token is about to launch, and there is a preparatory period, they always have the lion's share, having done the division in terms of the ratio of your holdings. Okay, and on the Binance Launchpad and the KU Coin Launchpad, you'd agree with me that there are a whole lot of whales. Okay, remember, Binance started very, very cheap. And as of now, the Binance token, that's the BNB, has done over 6,350x of investment. So if you had invested just $1 alone, that would have been 6,300 $50. That is what you should be sitting on right now, if you had invested just $1. So as a result of this, there were a lot of early investors who bought into the BNB token many years ago, about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, when the token was relatively cheap. So right now they are whales. They are holding thousands of the BNB tokens, even up to, a million BNB tokens. And these people get the largest share in those platforms. And that is why if you decide to participate on the Binance Launchpad or KuCoin Launchpad with probably maybe $1,000 or $2,000, at the end of the day, the tokens, despite seeing that the token would actually do more than 40,000% or 20,000% after it is listed on Binance, you discover that the token value for you, who is actually joining the Launchpad with 1,000, 2,000, even $10,000, might not be getting up to 50 to even $100 in value, despite the spike. But those who have the largest share, in the market, would actually be walking home with probably $100,000, $200,000 worth of the token the moment it hits the market. So for me, I do not patronize these guys because this here we have an unfair advantage. Okay, it is very, very unfair because the early birds who actually had enough of the tokens those years, are those that are actually eating big. If you want to make money here, you should be talking of at least holding probably maybe $500,000 worth of the BNB token and the KCS token in order for you to make probably around $10,000 to $20,000, worth of token whenever they have a project being incubated. So this is a no-no for me because as an investor, I'm always looking out for how to make money, and profit the more. All right. The next most popular launchpad, which personally I am participating with alongside Mr. Ayobami, is known as the IDO launchpad. Unlike the IEO, which is the initial exchange offering, remember this is done on a centralized exchange because Binance is centralized. KuCoin is centralized because over here, you are not having a decentralized system. All funds are being managed by the exchange. Okay, but IDO is a disruption of the IEOs. Okay, because participating here, you participate in a completely decentralized and a fair way. And there is an even system known as a tier system that shows you that even if you're coming in at the lowest tier, you have some certain level of guarantee to actually get involved in that particular project and have a piece of a share, even with little capital, unlike this other. Okay, and the most popular example of the IDO launchpad, the IDO stands for initial DEX offering. When you talk about DEX, talking about decentralized offering. Okay, it means it can be done in a decentralized application, probably using a Trust Wallet, TronLink app, and all that. Okay, we have Poker Starter, we have Paid Network, we have Lemonade, we have Trumpad, we have NFT Launch, AdaPad, and so many others. Okay, now the question is, these things are new to me. How do I actually get involved in this project very early and make the most gains in crypto? Just like Prince Patrick is saying, this is a cheat code to life-changing gains. It is very, very easy. Okay, and this will take us to a practical approach to actually see how things, are done. And I'm also going to expose to you to see the crazy returns that one stands to make, while patronizing the IDO platforms. Just a moment, Mr. Ayobami, are you there? If you're there, you could just be doing a recap while I make the next slide available.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Prince. Yeah, we've heard what Launchpad is, how you can approach, the different launchpads. We have both centralized and decentralized launchpads. All right, and we've seen in the past, let's take for instance the Binance launchpad. We've seen, the kind of results that some tokens that are released based on these launchpads by committing. How do they do their own? You commit your BNB and stuff like that, and then you're able to get some fair share of the token, okay, as per the centralized launchpad. Now, for decentralized launchpad, which is the main purpose of of us being here tonight, we have seen at least from the ones that we belong, we have seen project launch, and in the same day of launch, a project that for instance, we got at say at 0.00 something, maybe 0.004, and upon launch, this thing will go up as high as 200, 300x. The same day, the same period, it is launched. Okay, so we have all of this, on the fact that we have seen this work many, on many projects. Like Prince said, We have different types of launchpad. We have the Binance Launchpad, that's BSC Launchpad. We have the ETH Launchpad. We have the NFTL. We have the Game Zone. We have the Trump Pad. We have so many, of these launchpads. And then I think, the next thing Prince will be taking us through will be on what are, these launchpads. How can we, get into these launchpads? And then what do you benefit for getting into this launchpad? Because I'll tell you what, the fact that, I mean, the space is for us to make money. Okay, that is the purpose. That's the primary purpose of all this that we are doing. I was in Shoprite, Ikeja City Mall, Shoprite yesterday, and then one man cafe that I normally use for meetings and all that just walked up to me yesterday and was like, "Do this? People have come to see you about this project, about that project," and then he started talking how he got to know about crypto, what he has done, and all of that. And when he will spoil everything, he told me, "Though I've not invested," and I told him, "Then we should not be having this discussion because the purpose of our own, community or group is for us to be able to make money, and that is the reason why we feel it is very necessary for us to bring the next big thing in the crypto space, which is this launchpad. We've been talking about metaverse and all of that, and then we are just going to bring a whole lot more about metaverse. I think that's a discussion for another day. Now let's continue as Prince is back with the next slide. Prince, go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you very much, sir. When we talk about launchpads, remember I said there are launchpads of launchpad, and there are some certain kind of launchpad projects that we should not miss. Okay, I'll be telling you what we have in stock here, and well, this is BlueZilla. Okay, BlueZilla is a venture capital company, and what they do is they invest in startup projects, and because they have very strong influence in the crypto space, their marketing is a game, and they do not incubate rubbish projects. All their projects are solid and proven to be the best performing, in the industry as it stands. And this is the reason why, if you are to be looking out for a launch pad to actually get involved in, you should be looking out for BlueZilla backed launchpad projects. Okay, if we are to check their projects, this is bluezilla.vc. Let's look at their past projects that they have incubated. Well, the past projects that they have incubated actually have seen massive returns. Okay, this is BSC pad, ETH pad, ADA pad, Velas pad, KCC pad, swaps, Wagyu swap, Trump pad, NFT launch, Game Zone, Identity, Cross swap, Astro swap, Cross wallet, and this one is the next big thing. All these are already incubated and are currently in the market. PulsePad is the next launchpad project that you cannot afford to miss. And I am happy to tell you that we missed out on BSC pad completely because this was the first launch pad that was incubated by BlueZilla, and it was just like a direct copy of Polkastarter. Okay, because when we talk about Launchpad, I think one of the very first launchpads to have launched was Paid Network and Polkastarter. But right now, those guys, their projects are actually deemed to make 5 to 10x of your investment in those launchpads right now is seemingly looking difficult because they had a lot of hidden games, in the projects by having a lot of let's say tokens in their possessions, and they just share a little, to the public. And the moment this coin hits the market, you always get to see it dump crazily. Why? Because the owners of the Poker Starter and those speed network actually were playing the backdoor game. Okay, and because of this, investors lost interest in those projects. BlueZilla is one that is highly recommendable. And out of our research, we see that they are trustworthy, sincere, and because of their reputation, their projects are always seeing massive gains. It may surprise you to know that those who invested in BSC Pad within the first 2 days of launch saw 227x in return of their investment. 227x. You could do this research on your own and find it out. I am telling you real, like very real, accurate information. Okay. ETHPad, AdaPad, ETHPad, AdaPad, VelasPad, yes. Swaps, TrumpPad, Game Zone, and Cross Wallets. I and Mr. Ayobami, we did not miss out on it. We were able to get into Cross Wallets, you know, from day one. We're able to get into Game Zone from day one. We're able to get into Swaps from day one. We're able to get into AdaPad from day one, ETHPad from day one, and VelasPad from day one. Well, we are not in this launch pads. The only launch pad that we currently are sitting on is the TrumpPad. That's I and Mr. Ayobami. And because we are in TrumpPad, we had access, early access, because TrumpPad was launched before all these other pads. Okay. And after TrumpPad, I think the next that was launched was the ETHPad, yeah? And then the AdaPad, the KCC pad, and the Velas pad. This is what happened. Because we have positioned ourselves in the TrumpPad, I'll show you what it means to position yourself, you know, to get in early on this project. We had guaranteed allocation in Velas pad, AdaPad, ETHPad, Swaps, you know, Cross Wallets, and Game Zone. And because of this early access, I can boldly tell you that on ETHPad, based on our allocation, we are currently sitting on 125x of our investments. And ETHPad sale was right, let's say 2 months ago. AdaPad, we are currently sitting at least about 55 to 60x of our investment. You know, VelasPad, Game Zone, similar. Okay, this is something that naturally will take a long time to actually get, you know, in terms of those other projects. Yes, in our community, we gave Solana put 200x, we gave Matic put over 120x, you know, we gave Cardano did over 100x, you know, and the likes like that. So many other projects that performed a lot of magic. But of course, you'll agree with me that this project performed over 100x, 80x, 50x, you know, within a space of 1 year. But right here, I can tell you that none of these projects, okay, apart from BSC Pad, none of this project is up to 6 months old. And they have already done over 50, 60, 100, 200x in less than 6 months. And actually, it did this within the first 2-3 days of launch for those who got in early. Okay, this is where we currently are sitting. This is TrumpPad. It is a first launch pad built on and partnered with the Tron network. It simply means any project that is going to be launching, any good project that's going to be launching on the Tron blockchain, you know, would actually be looking for the best launch pad to launch their project. And most of those projects will actually decide to go for TrumpPad because it is backed by the BlueZilla. Sorry, please confirm to me that you can see my screen, the TrumpPad screen.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, how do you get involved in a launchpad? Every launchpad has their native token because it is a native token that qualifies you entry into early access, you know, of this token in order for you to have your share before it goes limelight, before it hits the open market. And for every launchpad, there is a required amount of tokens that you are expected to have in order to participate, you know, in that project. And we are using TrumpPad as a case study, okay? And because we're using this as a case study, we would have to look at their tiered system and see the requirements for you to get in. Okay. while we see this, let me open this here. Just a moment. Just a moment. We want to have a practical approach to things. Okay, now you can see that one trump card is valued at around roughly 15 cents. Okay, one trump card token, and that means the native token for the trump card launch pad, is currently trading at approximately 15 cents per token. And over here, there are different tiers of participation. Okay, but there are the ones that have guaranteed. If you are having 15,000 tokens, that's 15,000 Tron pad in your Tron wallet, you should be having, let's do this. Okay, 0.15, that's 15 cents multiplied by 15,000. It means if you have $2,250 invested in the Tron pad token as of right now, you would be able to get one lottery ticket to see if you might be able to get an allocation, for their next project. There is no guarantee that you're going to get in if you're having $2,250 worth of the Tron pad token. That's 15,000 tokens at the current value of approximately 15 cents. Okay. So for a smart investor, there is no point wasting time here, because a lot of people that will be here will just be trial and error. At the end of the day, probably out of 1,000% who have this 15,000 tokens, maybe just around 100 of you will be taking, or 50 or even 20. I do not know how it operates here, but I've not seen anyone who is successful, on the lottery. But for this, we have guaranteed allocations. Okay, we have the 50,000 Tron pad, we have the 200,000 Tron pad, and we have the 500,000 Tron pad. Well, for the moon, I think for the moon, it's it just came in. I've not seen that before. It was recently introduced. Okay, previously we had the Mars, and then later on the sun came in. So for you to participate in the moon, you have one guaranteed allocation getting involved here. Yes, correct. And you need 50,000 tokens, minimum, for you to have a guaranteed allocation here. It simply means you need to invest 50,000 tokens, means multiplied by 15 cents. That's $7,500, over here will give you a guaranteed allocation, on the projects that will be launching on Tron pad. But look at this. The pool weight is 10, only 10. Okay, so it simply means, let's say we have 100%, just 10%, of the total tokens that is allotted for sale, on the IDO will be made available here. And of course, because this is like the cheapest tier, with only $7,500, you'll be able to get in here. It simply means a whole lot of persons will be clamoring around here. So at the end of the day, maybe your allocation might be probably $10, $20, okay, for that coin. And if it does 100x, it's going to be $20 multiplied by 100. That is going to be giving you $2,000. Okay, still not a bad investment. But then we're looking for ways to actually maximize money, make the more, by getting involved in the, the highest tier if possible, or probably the mid tier. Now, all these are guaranteed allocation, but the pool weight differs. So when the pool weight is high and the requirement is high, there is a very high tendency that the allocation that you're going to receive will be relatively high. Note this also. For the fact that we say you're going to be making 100, 200x of your money, doesn't mean that you are going to be allowed to invest even up to $500 or $200, because these projects always have very low market capitalization from the initial beginning, sometimes $100,000, sometimes $170,000. So based on the total amount of people who are interested in the project, and based on the tier and your pool weight, they're able to say, okay, those on the moon tier will be able to get this portion out of this token, this portion out of this token. So those on this tier naturally would actually be lesser than those on the Mars and the moon. So people here are going to share, from this. And this is what we have here now. So if you want to be in the intermediary, okay, that's for this, the 200,000 pool, trump card, we are talking about 200,000 multiplied by 0.15 means you need $30,000, staked on the Trump Card platform. It means you need $30,000 worth of the Trump Card token actively being staked on the platform to enable you get involved in their projects. And if you want to come in on the largest tier, which is the 500,000 Trump Card tier, at the moment it's going to cost you approximately 75,000 US dollars. Okay, 75,000 US dollars is going to give you a guaranteed tier with a heavy weight, over here. So these are the requirements to get involved in the Trump Card. This project, when we click on their projects, you will discover that this project is about to launch and it is going to be put on sale on the 10th, just about 3 to 4 days time from today. Okay, so on the 10th, some persons will be making incredible gains on the Pulse Pad token. Also note, the Pulse Pad is a launch pad on its own, but it cannot just come into thin air. It must be introduced or launched on an existing launch pad. And that is why the Pulse Pad token is going to be launched on BSC pad, ETH pad, ADA pad, Velas pad, KCC pad, Wagyu, NFT launch, and Trump pad. Okay, all these launch pads are going to be launching the Pulse pad. So if you can afford to be on all the other pads, of course, you could afford to invest probably in the BSC pad. Okay, let's look at this, how much it will cost you to get into a guaranteed tier on the BSC pad. Just a moment. You can see the sites are identical because they are incubated by the same VC known as the BlueZilla. Okay. Now over here, you have different tiers, but all these tiers are not guaranteed. Okay, the one that gives you the guaranteed allocation from this point, that's from at least the platinum, the diamond, and the blue diamond. Now let's check the current price of one BSC pad token. Okay, one BSC pad token is currently costing around $2.3. Okay, $2.3. Multiply that by 10,000. It simply means you need $23,000 minimum to at least get the lowest guaranteed allocation on the BSC pad. So while you have allocation, on the Trump pad, and you can also afford to get a guaranteed allocation, probably on the platinum level, diamond or blue diamond, you can actually do this, as an extra source of income. Because since projects are going to be launching, the same project that is launching on Trump pad is also going to be launching here, as you can see. Let's see the upcoming. You can see Pulse Pad also is here. It means Pulse Pad will be launched here. So if you have the BSC pad token, to get a guaranteed allocation here, it simply means while you're investing in Pulse Pad on BSC pad, you are also investing in Trump pad, okay, and getting the Pulse Pad. So you're going to be having double allocation. So if you're investing maybe $100 here and $100 on the BSC pad, and maybe this project does 100x, 100x, it simply means you're going to be making $10,000 here, and $10,000 there. So if you can afford to be on all the pads that are being incubated by BlueZilla, that's going to be crazy money for you. Okay, and of course, a lot of you here should be able to do that. Okay, and the purpose of this call also is seeing and understanding the fact that not everyone might be able to afford this or get involved in this project. But believe me, 90% of the projects that have been launched on these projects have done insane gains, turning a simple investment of $100, $200 into thousands of dollars just within a couple of hours. However, you should also note that if you are purchasing a token at this early stage, none of this launch pads is going to release all the tokens for you at the same time. There is what we call vesting period. So if you're investing, let's say $100 is going to give you probably 10,000 Pulsepad tokens. The launchpad can decide to split your 10,000 tokens for you by releasing 1,000 of these tokens for you every week or every month. It all depends on how they want it to run and also the value of the coin. Okay, so over time, because they are holding some parts for you and waiting for it to be released in the subsequent weeks or months, you discover that this is a deflationary mechanism because it doesn't allow for easy dump. Because, for example, if you invest just $100 and every other person invests $100 and they made like $20,000, everybody would want to cash out the $20,000 immediately. And what happens? The project goes to the ground level and starts from zero afresh. But because they want to ensure that they maintain a steady rise in the value or the price of their assets, they do not give you all the tokens immediately. They only release somewhere with between 7 and 25% for you at the day the project is launching. And this covers for at least your initial startup capital and probably maybe giving you about 20 to 30 times of your capital on the day of launch. That's still not a bad investment. So Mr. Ayobami will take further discussion on how we intend to run this with the community. For those who will be interested in getting involved in this project early enough, okay, we will be creating a special group for such discussion because if it's going to be possible for us as a community to get into the ETH pad, ADA pad, Velas pad, KCC pad, NFT launch, honestly, it's really going to be highly rewarding for those who are going to be interested. Of course, you can see that the cost of entry to get guaranteed allocation is very, very high. So we would be looking forward to serious-minded people because we are not looking for $1,000 investors or $500 investors, okay? This is a serious business. If you want to make serious money, you should be ready to make serious. Okay, just look at ETHPad. ETHPads actually, you know, we're sitting on more than this. Although the all-time high was 348.7x. We got involved in this, yes. So imagine even if it's just $100 you got involved with, you know, was your allocation, $100 multiplied by 222, or probably 348, because the project is still rising, it's still increasing as we speak. It's a solid project. So this is the kind of gains that you stand to make while patronizing the launch pads. Thank you very much. Mr. Ayobami, are you there, sir?
Yes, very much. I'm available. All right. Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you so much. You have actually made it so easy. And then we all understand what Launchpad and everything all about. Okay. So for right now, if you have any question, like Prince said, we're going to be creating a group for people who may want to be part of Launchpads. Okay, who may want to be part of Launchpads. We're going to create a special group, and then we take our discussion up, you know, from there. All right. If you have any question, please raise your hand. Raise your hand and ask your question. Mr. Bolaji, do you have a question? Mr. Bolaji, your hand is up. Do you have a question? If you have any question, please raise your hand. Okay, David Dumont, please go ahead, unmute yourself. Go ahead and ask your question. You can unmute yourself, David Dumont.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Okay, thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you, Prince, for taking us through this, and Ogayo, thank you very much. What I want to ask is this. So let's say for instance, on the Tron part, so like the presentation Prince was making, okay, like you need to have like maybe 50,000 of that Tron token, and you want to participate on this projects, and you stake that in that Tron pack. Okay, let's say after the end of the whatever launch on the part, is it possible that you can unstake that your token?
Absolutely. It is your token. You can stake it anytime you want to stake it. You can. It's not locked. It's not locked.
Okay,
You can
I thought
unstake
it's
it at
locked.
any time. It takes 48 hours for the token to become available for you to claim. When you click the unstake button, it's gonna get released for you within 48 hours, and then you can decide to do whatever you want to do with it. The token is yours. You only for us, the project is a long-term project. We are not staking and unstaking because a lot of projects are naturally going to be launching there. There's never been a time where in 3 weeks at least one project doesn't launch. There's never been a time. Okay, so if you're treating it as an investment, then staking it and leaving it locked there is good, because while it's staked, you're earning more Trump tokens. You can decide to be, claiming the Trump tokens that you're earning and probably selling off, for some change, or you could also compound to earn more Trump tokens. And if you're able to make some more tokens, there's nothing stopping you from having another wallet, and also having those claimed tokens going over to the next wallet and having a guaranteed allocation for you as well. You understand? So it's an investment and it should be treated
Okay,
as one.
thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Do we have any other question? Do we have any other question? Okay. Please unmute yourself. Madam Bambam, unmute yourself. Madam Bambam, please unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, madam.
I just want to find out how soon the group will be created.
Ma'am?
I just want to find out how soon the group will be created.
Tonight.
So that, if it's possible for us to
tonight.
The project. Okay. Thank you.
Tonight. Yes. Madam Bambam, off record, go and check your Solex, SLX, off record. Go and check your SLX and tell me what you are seeing after now. All right. Next question, please. Please, if you have another question, any other person? Any other question? Okay, Mr. Wale. Oga Wale, the whale from Wales. Please unmute yourself, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Very well, sir.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. My question is, are we going to participate in it individually, or you are looking at pulling resources together?
Okay,
because
so
yeah.
Okay, so
if I can understand my question, please. Yeah.
Yes, I do, sir. All right. So, like, why this meeting? Why we decided to talk about this is to see like minds, that may want to come together and say, okay, let us own a launch pad on ETH, for instance. Okay, on ETH launch pad, let us have, let us be on the highest allocation. So whatever it is, if let's say we are 3 or we are 4 that owns that launch pad, whatever it is that allocation that comes from that, the 3 of us or 4 of us pull money together, buy the allocation, and then we share it accordingly. Okay. as the
Yeah.
thing is vesting, most of the tokens come investing. So as it is, comes investing,
Okay.
we collect. If it is 20,000 token, we get. If it is 50,000 token, we get. It could be any number of tokens.
All right.
Okay, just to tell you, okay, for CWT that Prince spoke about,
Yeah.
we put in how much was that 350? We're given an allocation of 350
Dollar, yeah,
dollar,
$354.
$354. Okay, right now and we have about 175 or 179.
Yeah, 179 tokens.
179,000
179,000 tokens.
tokens. Now that we got with $354 on allocation. Each cross wallet is 8 cents, just 9 cents right now. So you can do the math. You
Right.
understand? You can do the math, yourself. The same thing happened to us with PKR. And that's why, because we know where PKR is going, where it is coming from, where
Okay.
it is right now, and where it is going. That's why we keep shouting. Since when it was 0.07, for everybody to go and, take at least some good number of it and store away. And today, if you look at, if you bought PKR when we asked people to buy, and then right now it's 29 cents from 0.07. Okay.
Wow.
So all these are projects that came out of these launch pads.
Okay.
And if you look at
the PKR call is not even up to a month ago. Within 1 month,
Yes.
investors have made about 4x already.
Of
Those
their
who
money.
took the call, yeah,
Right.
4 times of their money.
So, Mr. Wale, the point is we want people like minds that are ready to also say, okay, we want to be on this guaranteed allocation for each part, for instance, and it's going to cost us XYZ amount, maybe 50,000, maybe. Okay. I was okay, let us 3, 4, 5 of us drum pad. It costs us.
Okay.
Right. So so we just have to mop that fund and then.
Yeah. Personally, I appreciate that. Yeah, if it is going to be something, yeah. So are you going to throw it open for anybody that want to come in? With
for people that are on this call tonight, if you're on this call tonight and you are interested, in being part of any of the launch pads, just send me a message personally.
Okay.
After this call,
You
then
answer
we
my
discussion
question already.
from there. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now this is it. Look at ETHPad. You can see the price that it was sold for during the IDO. This was the price we actually got ETHPad for. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's look at the current price. So you'll see we're not joking here. ETHPad.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Can you see the multiplier?
Yeah.
15 cents. How much was it sold for?
Yeah.
Just look at it. 1,
It makes
2,
sense.
3. Okay, so that's to show you that this is would I say blood money? So even if it is $50, even if it is $50 that you invest here, you would know how much you would have made by now.
Yeah.
Just $50, you understand? So that's what we're looking out for. And because allocations over here are not really that much, we could be looking at allocation between $50 and $200, per launch pad. Okay. And taking the multiplier. But if we're able to get on all these other launch pads, let's say we are on ETHPad, ADAPad, VelasPad, at the end of the day, total investment that we're going to be having on a particular project could be maybe $1,000.
Right.
For that day. Like PulsePad now, for example, if allocation is probably like $200 and we are on 5 launch pads, 200 multiplied by 5, that's $1,000 investment. If the project does 200x, that's $200,000 just on one project.
Yeah.
You get it. So that's what I I would want everybody to see. And even if there is a vesting period of probably 20% released monthly, it simply means every month you're going to be having $40,000 available on the table for those who partake to be able to share. If monthly you're getting this passive income, probably maybe between $5,000 to $10,000, dollars extra income. And meanwhile, your investment is still there because the money you're investing to get the allocation is still your money. Anytime we say, okay, we don't tire, we don't want chop again, we can just simply on stake, convert to USDT or BUSD and share back and refund, the investor. So that is what we are looking out for. But for those, of course, multi-millionaires are here, a lot of crypto millionaires are here. Some others would actually want to do this on their own since they have the capacity. It's still very good. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Prince Oge, don't mind me. Ogegere, Prince, please unmute yourself and ask a question.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, I just wanted to ask if what I wanted to understand is it immediately these tokens are launched that will get profits? Take for example, you said that when they are launched, they just do 200x, 100x, and so on and so forth. So is it at that point that we are able to take profits at those vesting periods, or we're also planning to wait for them to grow or do whatever run or percentage they want to do?
Prince?
Sir, do you understand?
I don't understand your question, please.
His question, if I understanding, is that when these tokens, when they launch, is it at the point of launch that we take profit after they have done XYZ, in terms
Okay, yes, for us, of course, Mr. Ayobami, the token that is released on that first day, of the launch, we usually take profits off the table because that's a good sign of investing. Okay, if you're investing and you are not having any money out of your investment in your pockets, I don't think that's an investment. Okay, so what we do is we actually sell off the initial allocation that we are given. Some persons decide to hold, fine, but for us, because we have some other tokens that are still in front coming, whatever X the project wants to do in the near future, we are still going to benefit from it. You understand? Because like I said, not all the tokens will be released to you immediately after the IDO. Okay, you could have 20% of the total tokens released to you monthly. Okay, so let's say you participate in Postpad and probably you're able to get 100,000 Postpad token, and they said they want to release 25% monthly. It simply means you're going to have 4 months to claim the token. So month 1, you claim 25,000, month 2, you claim 25,000. If we decide to hold, since the community thing, it's still a function of our, personal decisions. If we come together and say, okay, let's sell and take this profit off, let's share, we can always do that. Everything is going to be transparent and open. Everybody is going to see what is happening in real time, just as much as we have always been doing it.
Is that clear, Prince Ogegere? All right, Mr. Abimbola, Alhaji Abimbola Mohammed. Unmute yourself, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Let me apologize. I came very late, so I missed out from most of the important issues. Even though I will not be asking you to go back because that would be selfish or ridiculous, but just the summary because particularly this issue you are discussing now, because I'm interested when Oracle is speaking, one is I don't want to miss out. It's because I was in transit. That was why I joined very late. Sorry, sir. Just the brief, right? Because I'm interested, and even the little I've had now, I'm interested. I just want to hear a little bit more.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Prince.
Okay, what we discussed was about Launchpads and having explained Launchpad to be the cheat code, to getting involved in projects at the very beginning before it hits the open market. Okay, and I and Mr. Ayobami are beneficiaries, of this life-changing gains with as little as $100 to $70 allocation, been able to turn such allocations into thousands of dollars, just within a couple of months, just because we got involved early, in some of these projects. And as a matter of fact, the launch pads that we are patronizing are launch pads that are incubated and backed by one of the world's biggest VCs, known as the Blue Zilla. Okay, they are very massive because they have influence in the crypto space as a whole, and 90% of their projects have actually, beat other crypto, crypto projects. And this is why, going with the Bluezilla, there are a lot of launch pads that they have incubated that we would love to get into, as a community or independently for those who could afford it. We only had to bring this as an information for the community to show you that if you're not aware, of this pattern of making money, because in the community, we always bring you the trends, we always bring you what is hot, what would actually be beneficial to you, and letting you know the hottest products and the hottest way of making money from the crypto space. So we did that presentation extensively, and we actually brought the information telling those who would be interested in getting involved in having us form a group for the launch pad for those who cannot afford to go into the highest tier, for very high allocation of the upcoming projects. That is the reason for this discussion. However, anyone who is interested will have to private chat Mr. Ayobami Obafemi, and basically this offer is exclusively and inclusively only for Roycraft members. Okay, not outsiders. Of course, we have a lot of people on the call who just probably just joined as a result of one invitation or the other. Okay, this is an insider information, and that's just a summary.
Thank you very much, Prince. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Do we have any other question? Any other question? Okay, so so Mr. Bolaji, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Your hand, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you so much. I really thank the house. I really thank everybody. And no matter what, I thank the host and Mr. Prince for detailed the process and everything. But no matter, my first question is that if you get into it, is it going to qualify you for any launch bar that comes on the Tron launch pad, even after any other one that comes in? That's one. What I mean is that is it going to benefit for any project they launch on that Tron pad? That's my one question. Mr. Prince, is that correct? Am I right?
Very correct. As long as you're staking, you have your investment there, that qualifies you for every project that is to be launched on that particular pad. So even if 10 projects are to be launched for that month, you have access and guaranteed allocation for all of them.
All right. That's one. Number two is I think the concept is just like I don't want to bring you back. I get the concept of this the IDO is like a crowdfunding for private company. I think the way they do getting money, and when they want to come on board, anybody that invested with them, they give them large percentage of stock before it comes to private placement. I think maybe the whole idea is just like
everything about the financial market is crowdfunding, even for cryptocurrency. Everything about the financial market.
All right. Yeah. Another one I wanted to ask is that the other man I've asked it, is it going to be like bringing things together, resources together? Any little one I have, I don't know the
No,
conditions.
it's
Like
not.
maybe
It's not going to be little because to get involved in most of these projects costs you minimum of 75,000. In fact, Trumpad is the cheapest, and to get the highest tier is $75,000 on Trumpad. So we are looking at $100,000, per pad on an average. Of which some pads for us to get involved in the highest tier is around $160,000. So imagine having to raise $160,000 and we'll be looking for people to invest $1,000. It simply means we need 160 people to pull their resources together. You understand, right? So we are not looking for
oh
such
my
kind of
god.
crowd. Yeah, we're just looking
Oh my god.
for probably 10, 15 serious-minded people. Yeah, 10K thereabout.
Oh my god. Oh, and to join the group, I don't want them as doing at the question. Is it going to be like the amount that you, if you have the conditions, that's what it will do. All right, no problem.
You can also,
I'm
just
okay.
like you've already said in
Yeah.
the crowdfund stuff, you too can also
Yeah.
create your own crowdfund group, and then you'll be feeding them what you're getting from our own group.
No,
You
I'm not subletting.
understand?
That's subletting. I'm not subletting. No. No. Actually, when you look at the what they call, if you look at the result,
Yeah.
they said it's only full that doubt proof. Do you get when you
Yeah.
see, you analyze, you do everything, and that's the only thing. But I don't need to find on that. Fine. If you said this is the condition, that's fine. That's no problem. I understand it. I understand your analysis. I understand everything. Thank you for, as you said, we'll take it from you take it from there, as you said, right?
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Mr. Prince, and the
Yeah.
Mr. Ayo. I appreciate everybody in the house too. Thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Ali, go ahead.
All right. Good evening, sir. Actually,
Um,
my question, somebody just made mention of something like that. And what I wanted to ask was, since the project requires huge amounts of money to start, for those of us who don't have like $10K or $7,000 or probably the amount required to start the business, to start the project, can we like probably, maybe I really don't know if it's possible, maybe we that have like $2,000 or $3,000, I'm still interested in the project. Is it possible you create a WhatsApp group for us, maybe with like 20 of us or thereabouts? I'm just saying, like, for us to just join hands together and be in the project as well. Because I am actually interested, but
There's no
I
problem.
know
It's subject to consideration. Yeah, when we have anyone who is interested should private chat Mr. Ayobami, telling him the amount you can afford. Okay, remember, every investment is highly risky, and as a
Yes,
realist, yeah, whatever we are saying here is strictly for educational purposes and entertainment purpose. We are all here for the money, but in as much as we are here for the money, it is always good to define risk. Okay, anything can happen in the financial market. The launch parts that we are hoping to make us money, we could also lose money in it. Okay, I'm not saying we are losing, but that's a disclaimer, for the purpose of future. We are not telling you to invest in what we are not doing. I and Mr. Ayobami have been on Tron part for close to about 5 months now. Mr. Ayobami, am I correct?
very well, sir.
I think it's about 5 months. Yeah. So of course you should know that in the community, we would not tell you to invest where we have not invested in, and we would not recommend a coin for you to buy when we have not purchased it as well, or when we do not intend to purchase it. So our interest is your interest, and your interest is ours. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Do we have any other question? Do we have any other question? All right, so folks, that's it for tonight. I hope it's worth your while. After now, you're interested in one thing or the other as for Launchpad, just send me a message strictly for Roycraft and community members. That's what is basically meant for. All right. So if you want to be part of it, send me a personal a DM, and then let's take it off from there. I'm going to create a group tonight for Launchpad, Launchpad group. Then we'll be able to itemize which Launchpad, how much do we need to be on each one. Then we can also, put ourselves together one way or the other and see how far we can go. Okay. Thank you very much. A lot of things are happening within the community. I'm going to be dropping a call on the group tonight, later tonight. I'm going to be dropping. I'm still working on one or two things with Prince. Once we are done, I'll be able to drop it on the group for anyone that is interested. Ethereum Uniswap platform. If you can pay the gas fee, go ahead, make the payment, and then watch what happens. Those that I asked to interact with Symmetry.fi, and then they came back to ask if they could, what they were trying to swap wasn't going through and stuff like that. And then I suggested them to go and do SAMO. At that time, that was around, that was September 12. September 12, exactly September 12. SAMO, I think, was on was 0.006 that particular day. Those that interacted with it, well, I'm happy to tell you that SAMO is around 20 cents, right now. And that, for me, my 1.8 Solana that day, let me see how many Solana, if I want to convert my SAMO right now, how many Solana is going to give me. Okay, so if I want to convert my 1.8, it's supposed to give me 40.8 Solana. Okay, between September and now. So guys, we are not joking. We are not joking here. And if you want to see, if you want to ask me what the value is, the value of 1.8 Solana then was about $305, and that value today is $10,694. Okay, so when we say something, just like Prince said, when we say something to the community, be rest assured that we ourselves, we are in it, because we are not doing our own work. Yes, we are not doing anything based on financial advice, entertainment and educational purposes is all that we do. But then, whatever we tell you to do, just be rest assured that we are in it. So for you, take it or you decide to let it pass. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time tonight. We will not be meeting next week, Saturday. One of our own is burying his father that day, so we will not be available. So we'll be having meeting again upper Friday. Okay, we'll be having a meeting again upper Friday. Upper Saturday. So enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone, and see you again in 2 weeks' time. Thank you, and enjoy your evening. Have a nice night, everyone. Bye.